Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. And as you can see, this video in particular is going to be very different than my normal style YouTube videos. I usually, in my normal style YouTube video, I pick a topic. I don't have a mic. I don't have these cool little headphones on. And so what we're going to try to do in this YouTube video is we're going to intertwine like the podcast style with the YouTube style and see how it goes. See if you, the audience, the viewers, like this style better. And today, what we're going to talk about is how you can make it in this game. And I'm not saying just like how to be an average producer. No, I'm talking about how are you going to become a phenomenal producer and what is it going to take to make it? And so let me lay the foundation really quick for you. I've been in sales for about 7 years. I started on the ground floor selling masterminds and coaching programs. So I've always been in the high ticket space. My mentor was Bedros Keuilian, and Bedros brought me in. And the first thing I started selling was $2,500 coaching packages. Then eventually we started selling $10,000 coaching packages. And then from there it went to $25,000. And then he was like, hey, Rich, can you sell $50,000 coaching packages? And then we started selling $50,000 coaching packages. And guess what? We did that in a matter of a half an hour phone call. So imagine in a half an hour going from, hey, this guy does not know me, to then spending $50,000 with a credit card over the phone. So this is the foundation of where I came from in sales. And what I can tell you is that if you are in this game or want to get into the sales game, what it's going to take is not what you think it's going to take. Skills in sales, the skill portion of sales is by far the least important part of the entire process. Okay? Because look, everywhere you go online, you can find sales mentors. You can listen to my free content and I'll show you how to close really well for free. You can go listen to Jeremy Miner. You can go listen to Eli Wild. You can go listen to Cole Gordon. You can go, read books on sales. I mean, there's so many sales trainers out there. So let's just scratch that one off, because if you think right now that the secret to your sales success is going to be upgrading your skills, you'd be wrong. And I can say this confidently because guess what? I was once where you were at. And I once was under the notion that I needed some magical script. I needed some magical coach. I needed some magical saying that was going to get my prospect to move forward. And so what I have discovered over the years selling is that the ones that are rock stars at selling, their skills are good, yes. But guess what? That takes a couple months and you'll have a pretty good skill set. But what it requires more so than anything is for you to be a phenomenal human, right? And I learned this from a mentor of mine. He said, look, skills, Rich, will take you so far. But the other two things that you need to adopt to be phenomenal are your character traits and your beliefs. So if we can focus this episode around what are your current character traits and then what are your current beliefs as a closer. And character traits, guys, are things that define who you are, right? Hardworking would be a character trait. Some closers are hardworking, some are not. But guess what? The hardworking closer will always figure out the skill. So it wasn't the skill that made the person successful. It was that he was hardworking and he was going to do it regardless. And so as we go throughout this episode, what I want you to understand is that if you lack a character trait or if you lack a certain belief that a top producer has, you will not close as well as that top producer, even though you have the same skill set as that producer. Because look what happens. In your life, you will have dynamic things show up. Inevitably, you will have bad things that happen in your life, right? Every single year, every single day is a new day, right? You might have a kid right now that is just, you're going through it with your kids. You might have marital issues. You might have relationship issues. You might have health issues. You might have things popping up during the day that you didn't expect. And every single closer comes across these things in their life. But how the closer responds to those problems in their life. And then when they go to get on the phone and bring the thunder and help the prospect, do they bring those circumstances into their phone calls? Or are they able to separate the two? Because who you are is way more important than what you do. And this is something that I have preached at One Call Closers for a long, long time. If you want to become better in sales, you need to become better as a human. Until you can master yourself, you will not master sales. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many freaking phone calls you take. Sales is not a game of skill. Sales is a game of mastering one's self. Have you mastered your emotions? Have you mastered your personal life? Have you mastered your marriage? Have you mastered your relationship with your kids? Have you mastered your outside relationships? Because make no mistake about it, all those factors come into play when you are closing. Because we all know that the energy that you bring on the call, the vibe that you bring on the call, the perspective that you bring on the call is what is going to influence human behavior. I can't get somebody excited to move forward unless me and I and myself are excited. I cannot transfer belief over the phone unless I carry the belief. I cannot show value unless I first have value to give. So, in this episode, I want to make it drastically clear that you, as a closer, if you feel like you are average right now or that you are not going to the level that you want to go at, I would advise you to start looking at other areas of your life. Are you keeping up with your health and fitness? Do you work out? Do you stay sharp in the weight room? Are you lifting weights? Because make no mistake about it, that will make you a better closer. How's your eating habits? Right now, are you eating cleaner? Are you eating the foods that are going to fuel you for the day? Because as you take more calls, you get more tired. And believe it or not, talking's really tired. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? How do you treat people that you see on the street? Do you say hi? Do you smile? How do you treat your relationships? How do you treat your wife? How do you treat your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband? How do you treat your kids? What are the things that you do every day that prepare you for war, that prepare you to get in the arena and help people? See, your habits as a closer in your professional and personal life will impact everything that you do. And I have a closer, her name's Marcy. She's actually my sister. And she's one of the most consistent closers that I have ever seen in my entire life. There is not a day that goes by, and I will repeat this until the day I die. There's not a day that goes by that she does not bring the thunder. And honestly, she outdoes everybody in this category. She is the most consistent closer I have ever seen on the face of this planet. And that is saying a lot because we've probably gone through now with one call closers, maybe 300, 400 closers. Okay. So out of 300, 400 closers, she has been the most consistent year after year. And so I started diagnosing Marcy and I said, okay, what makes Marcy so special over the phone? And you know what I concluded? I said, you know what? Yeah, her skill set is really good. You know, Marcy's demeanor is awesome. You know what? She loves people. She knows how to connect with people. Right? I'm like, okay, that's all good. But there's other people like that I can see. But what makes Marcy so special? And then it hit me. I started looking at how she treats her life, what she does on her time off, how she, what are her habits in the morning? What does she kind of do throughout the day that is not closing? And then it hit me. I was like, wow, you know what? You know what Marcy is? Marcy is consistent in everything she does. She's consistent in her thoughts. She's consistent in her workouts. She's consistent in how she treats people. She's consistent in her behaviors. She's consistent in her mental attitude towards life and towards others. And then I started figuring out the missing piece to this puzzle. I said, wow, you know what? My top producer, the skill is like this in her life. But who she is as a person is truly affecting her because she has figured out how to manage every area of her life to support what she does for a living. She is a phenomenal mom. She's a phenomenal sister. She's a phenomenal human. And when you become a phenomenal human and you work on yourself more than everybody else in this game, you will naturally rise above. You are now what people would consider, oh, that top producer. Wow. What does this guy do on the phone? Oh, wow. What does that guy do on the phone? See, and everybody's looking for the secret. But until you can get with that person and say, oh my gosh, you know what? The secret wasn't what they were saying on the phone. The secret was that they live a life worthy of being a top producer. And they support every area of their life to clear out that mental garbage, to bring the good things into those calls, not the bad. Not the arguments and the fights and the negativity. They bring the positivity, the belief, the stamina, the emotions, the value every single day. I'm going to close out this episode. I guess you can call it an episode. As a closer, you will get judged by your results. But just understand that your results are going to be directly correlated to who you are as a person and how you choose to live your life and the habits that you choose to develop outside of closing. That is what's going to make you phenomenal. So with that being said, you keep doing what you do, keep closing deals, keep succeeding in this game, and don't give up. Because I promise you, if you're after success in life, in every area of life, closing's the game. Because closing will naturally make you better in every other area of your life. Because if you do not get better in every other area of your life, then you will not become a top producer. And that I can promise you. Give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like if you liked it. And I'll see you for the next one. Peace.